Welcome back. Today we are going to be looking at a video on diet culture around Christmas time. So take it away, diet culture enthusiast.
So today I thought that we could talk about something that a lot of us are going to need in the next month or so.
Is it extra bags to put all the excess food that no one actually eats in the bin?
And that is how to deal with the diet culture shitstorm that is headed our way.
Now, I knew about potential snowstorms, but diet storm is new to me. Mostly because I think it's something you conjured out of your ass as a way of coping with any kind of conversation where your weight is raised. If you believe your weight is a problem, that is. Or if it is by medical standards.
The same one that comes around every single year around Christmas and New Year's, basically telling us that our bodies are wrong and we should feel really guilty for every single thing we've eaten and that we better hop on the next diet train pretty quick if we want to be happy this year.
This is going to sound a tad dense, but whose body says that? At this time of year, most people stock up on food. It comes from old customs of how we dealt with the colder climate. We put on the weight and then lost it throughout the year while working. It's all about survival. In current year, it's not such an issue, because we have central heating. But we've held on to the customs of overeating because we enjoy it, and because we know we are capable of losing the weight if we so choose to. We can also choose not to. Thanks to medicine, we're able to stay alive a lot longer, and live with those lovely pesky conditions that you get from being so overweight if you are, in fact, so overweight that you contract those conditions.
Now, you guys know I love calling bullshit on diet culture.
Throughout this video, you're going to say diet culture quite a number of times. Having never seen your content prior to this one video that I happen to have been sent by a subscriber, I have to assume, until I get time to look at your content, that diet culture is another way, a coping mechanism perhaps, of dealing with your own hang-ups so you don't have to deal with your hang-ups.
But this time of year, it just comes at you so thick and fast from all directions. It's hard to know how to deal with it, what to say, how to protect yourself, really.
Have you considered opening up your own safe space, or just buying some pepper spray?
And it could be that you're worrying about family members who are going to come round and attach a load of moral value to every single thing they eat.
If you know a single member of your family that does that, they are the single dullest member of your family. It would be wise to not sit near them, not because you might feel like a victim when they say things or have a turn of phrase that you take offense to, because this is what it all comes down to really, isn't it?
Oh no, darling, I really can't have another mince pie. I've been so good this week and I have to be good next week, and this will just be bad. I will be bad if I have that mince pie.
Do you remember how a minute ago I said it would be you taking offense? Yeah, this is exactly what I mean. Just because they're saying it, because they hold themselves to a different standard, doesn't mean they are trying to moral grandstand, or as others would call it, moral fagging. They are simply abiding rules they put on themselves, even though they are more than likely to break their New Year's resolution within the first 3 days.
Or maybe you're expecting some body shaming comments from, that one family member that comes around and just loves to make you feel shit about yourself. And when are we going to do something about, because you'd be so pretty and, you've got such a pretty face. It's such a shame if you could just lose a bit of weight.
We also all have a family member that tells us we would be happier if we smiled more. I get this frequently. Do I give a damn? No. Do I call it smile culture? No, because I just don't care enough. But I do care when you're lying, or you're trying your best to not lie by creating a shield. For you, the shield is diet culture, something which I wholeheartedly disagree with, mostly because I believe as we are an aging species, or nation even, and the fact that we are able to live longer and healthier lives, I think to an extent we should do the best we can to try and do it without our bodies giving up, which they will do to you if you don't look after yourself. And I fully understand that quite a lot of people fail their diets. But there are alternatives if you need to take an alternative. There are many options available, including medical. Hell, I've got an aunt. No joke, she weighed at one point 35 stone. Then she got a gastric band thing put around her stomach and she went all the way down to 20, I believe. Then had to have surgery to have things removed. Pretty disgusting. I feel sorry for the armchair that she sat in for 20 years.
Or maybe you're worried about logging onto social media and being bombarded with all of the diet culture posts. 10 quick ways to lose Christmas weight fast. New year, new you, get your best body yet. I'm even thinner and happier than I was in 2016 and you can be too.
You forgot, are you Beachbody ready? The best one of them all, quite clearly, because look at those results. So well received by the fat acceptance movement, even though the models are vegan. You also forgot to include on the social media the sheer number, the vast number of trolls who will tell you you're nothing but a whale, a land whale. There, we know this. That is the single best point you make in this entire video.
It comes around every year. I think most people still don't realise how harmful it can be. You know, we live in a world where we are constantly surrounded by diet culture every single day, whether there's a holiday or not.
I don't like this idea of using diet culture as a turn of phrase to pigeonhole looking after oneself, or all the adverts you see or the people you see that encourage looking after yourself. If you don't look after yourself, as mentioned, you are at risk of medical conditions, health problems early in life that you shouldn't have until you're much older, if at all, really. And let's not forget here, then you are also running the risk of putting overeaters, or binge eaters, or lazy people in with those that have mental conditions. And I think that is also a concern, because they're not the same thing. One needs medical help, the other needs to stop helping themselves. Which sounds callous, I know.
We can barely open our phones or go down the street or even be anywhere in public without hearing about calories counted and pounds lost, and how life would be so much better and easier and happier if we looked different.
It might be an idea to stop walking down the street you walk down where you see all of this. Clearly it is not targeted at you. Or it is and you don't like it. Perhaps move to somewhere more rural.
And what all that diet culture does is breed insecurity and makes us think that our bodies are wrong, that our lives are wrong, that we can't be trusted around food, that we have to go on the next crash, juice, blend, pill, wrap, whatever, to be happier, to be worthy, to be beautiful.
Allowing that stuff into your mind, to warp and distort you, to control you, says a lot more about your own mental weaknesses than it does anything else. Especially since you ended that by pointing out beautiful. Beautiful is whatever you want it to be. It is entirely subjective. Yes, quite a lot of people, the majority of people, would rather be healthy than unhealthy. Some people can control that, some people can't. Some people have medical conditions, some people are just lazy. And I know this sounds rude, I know, but I have very little time for the fat acceptance rubbish. As far as I'm concerned, it is very bad. And if you don't like what you see, the onus is on you to watch something else, to go somewhere else, to not hang out with anyone that would make you feel so insecure. I would also argue that you possibly need to toughen up a little, because we are all insecure about something and there is no such thing as perfection.
Diet culture makes us insecure, ashamed of our bodies, and it wrecks our relationship with food as well.
I can't be the only person that initially thought when she said relationship with food was sexual. Like American Pie, sexual.
And you know, the diet industry knows that this is the time of year that they can really cash in. They know that we're going to be spending time with our families, eating what we want, maybe we'll gain some weight, and they know that they can cash in on that, make us feel like failures and make bang.
Well, they won't have to worry about getting new gym equipment, since they know you'll get a gym membership but never turn up.
Which is why diet culture is so rife this time of year. And this can be especially harmful for people who are in recovery from eating disorders, or just people who've spent their entire lives falling down the diet culture rabbit hole and now actually want to make peace with their bodies and make peace with food and try something different.
I think I've already said this, so I'm going to say it again just to be absolutely sure. Conflating people with eating disorders with other people shouldn't be done. You shouldn't do it.
It can be a really triggering time of year, and it can really set us back in our recoveries or on our journeys to self-acceptance.
Did you just say triggering? At some point I'm going to have to try and not think of Jigglypuff when I think of someone of the more larger persuasion being triggered. I need to find a new one, or think of a better one. I'm sure it's comedy gold. Not right, of course, I shouldn't be laughing at it. But I will.
So if you want to get through this month without being made to feel like the worst person in the world for eating a mince pie, or like you have to drown in guilt if your jeans get a little bit tight, here are some of my tips for fending off diet culture and staying in your body positive mindset.
First thing, Mince pies are amazing, and you can never have too many mince pies. Second, we are 10 minutes in to my video response to you to now discover that there are points. Honestly, I was praying this was a ramble. What we'll do for the remainder of this video, we're going to focus on the key points, and I'm then going to explain what this lovely young lady says. I'm going to paraphrase it because I have a strange feeling it's going to be a waffle.
Number 1, set your boundaries. Decide right now that you deserve a body shame-free holiday.
And enjoy the doghouse it puts you in when you decide to put your foot down in front of your family and tell them to stop talking about diets and food and anything else that makes you uncomfortable. And your doghouse may actually be a literal doghouse, which can also double up as your safe space.
Which you do, because we all do. So this could look like talking to your family in advance, telling them that you have been really struggling with your relationship with your body or your relationship with food.
Some parents might in fact switch their entire Christmas dinner meal and family gatherings food for something healthier, like celery. Others, the majority, will simply tell you to sit at the fucking table and eat what's put in front of you, or you go to your room and you get nothing. At least that's how it is in my household.
And it would be really helpful to you if everyone could just be mindful of the topics and not talk about calories or weight loss or what's wrong with everyone's bodies.
What a shit family you must have that over Christmas dinner, when you are all gorging and enjoying yourself, hopefully, pulling lame crackers, telling even more embarrassing and cringy jokes, the subject of calorie counting comes up. Can you imagine someone going up to a whiteboard, pulling it out of Christmas dinner, pulling out a whiteboard and saying, right, you had 2 turkey legs, yeah, that's X amount of calories. You had a certain number of potatoes, they were done in goose fat, that's Y calories. How boring is your family?
Number 2, make sure you have a safe space to come back to away from all of that noise.
Yeah, called it.
Number 3, remind yourself why you quit diet culture in the first place.
Is that like talking into a mirror? Self-affirmation, as it were? They're laughing with you. They're laughing with you. They're not looking at me, judging me, and realizing, holy shit, I need to stop eating that double cheeseburger. Again, I know I sound a tad callous, but I don't have much patience for this. I forgot to mention what happened at the end of the previous point. Essentially, this young lady goes on to talk about safe spaces and social media, and learning to block people when they criticize. And she finishes this point by talking about how the avatar of diet culture, because diet culture is in itself an entity, manipulates and controls you, guilting you into doubting yourself. You're welcome to go and watch the original video, I've linked it in the description. But I'm pretty sure I'm fairly accurate. Oh, and she also persists in this whole mental condition conflating with laziness. There was a final point to survive the Christmas times diet culture, but quite frankly I can't be bothered with it, as it's centered around getting support to deal with diet culture. I lost my patience at that point. So just before we finish, I would like to wish everyone a very Merry Moistmas. I hope Santa gives you whatever it is you've asked for, if you believe in Santa or celebrate Christmas. I will personally be working on Christmas Day because the guy that I work with is away, so I'm covering some of his work. Yay me. But I do know my sister ordered me a lovely guitar for Christmas, so that hopefully will arrive in the new year because of an issue with shipping. Thank you Gear 4 Music for utterly fucking that up.
Omegon would say moist.
Right?
Yeah, I'd say drenched.
No, moist is correct, because apparently moist is a horrible word to say. Thereby, moist.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I love Omegon to death. He can... He's more of a perv than I am, and that's saying something.
Oh, no. Omegon's a tame bitch. That's right, Omegon. If you see this, I'm calling you out. But
Like,
that's
you're gonna
it.
start a fucking war.
Oh, I will happily start a perv war with Omegon. And if he wins, I will give him...
I'm going to get beat up YouTube, you realize that.
Hold on. Omegon, if you win a perv war with me, I will give you a pleb hat. That's all I'm saying. When you see this, you know what I'm saying. I will mail it to you personally.
I will tweet this thing at him.
I will pay for it out of my own pocket.
Dear Pleb 1, I hope you understand that upon hearing this I was baffled. I was amused, bemused, seamused. Honestly, the very thought that a pleb, a lowly pleb, is even on my level. You're not even pervy Padawan yet, and you think you can roll with the Moist Lord? It is on.